You know, The Last of Us, it's so much more than just a story about a world gone wrong. It's this incredibly deep and, yeah, often brutal look at what it means to be human. It's really a journey into what we're all willing to do for the people we love, and the lines we're willing to cross when we're faced with choices that feel just impossible. It's become a huge cultural touchstone, and today we're going to break down exactly why. This right here, this is the motto of the Fireflies, a resistance group fighting for a cure. And this one line, it perfectly sets up the entire story's biggest conflict, this desperate, almost painful search for hope in a world that feels completely swallowed by despair. It's a promise, you know, a promise of a better world. But as we're about to see, that light comes at a ridiculously steep price.
So, how did everything fall apart? Well, to really get a handle on the choices made at the end of this thing, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning. Back to when the world still looked like our world, right before it all changed forever.
Okay, so what's wild is that the idea for this comes from a real fungus that basically turns insects into zombies. Seriously, the creators just asked one simple, terrifying question. What if that thing could jump to humans? And the answer, well, it's the cordyceps brain infection. It's a plague that doesn't just kill you, it rewrites you from the inside out, turning you into a monster. The whole collapse was just terrifyingly fast. I mean, one day everything's normal, the next, it's complete chaos. And for our main character, Joel, the apocalypse gets intensely personal on day 2. This timeline jumps us 20 years into the future, but that one single event, losing his daughter Sarah, that's the wound that defines every single day of his next 2 decades. This right here, this is the moment that absolutely breaks Joel. While they're trying to escape the chaos, a soldier, just following orders, shoots Sarah. And she dies, right there in his arms. That loss just hollows him out. It strips away the loving dad he was and leaves this hardened, cynical survivor who will do absolutely anything to never, ever feel that kind of pain again.
That one loss completely reshapes the man Joel becomes. So let's jump forward 20 years. We're in the Boston quarantine zone, where 2 very different lives are about to collide in a way that is literally going to change the course of human history.
So on one hand, you've got Joel, the guy who lost everything and is now just a smuggler who trusts absolutely no one. And on the other hand, you have Ellie. She's a 14-year-old kid who has never known anything but this broken world, and she is filled with this sarcastic, defiant fire that's kept her alive. And, as it turns out, she's also the key to everything. So how does this epic journey start? Well, it's really just a business deal, a simple transaction. Joel and his partner Tess get hired to smuggle this kid, Ellie, out of the city. To Joel, she's not a person, she's cargo, a job, something he has to do to get his guns back. That's it, nothing more. But of course, the job goes sideways. Tess gets bitten. And as she feels the infection taking hold, she realizes something completely insane. Ellie was bitten too, weeks ago. And she's totally fine. She's immune. So in her last moments, Tess shoves the true weight of this mission onto Joel. It's not about weapons anymore. It's about a cure. Her sacrifice changes everything. And just like that, their journey across a ruined America begins. What starts out as this job he really doesn't want to do, slowly, and I mean painstakingly slowly, turns into something much, much deeper. Along the way, they learn some brutal lessons about this new world. They meet Bill, a guy whose paranoia kept him alive, but pretty much cost him his soul. They meet 2 brothers, Henry and Sam, who give them this beautiful glimpse of family right before it all ends in tragedy. And they run into hunters, vicious survivors, who prove that, a lot of the time, the infected aren't the scariest things out there.
But you know, it's not all horror. In between all the terror, a real bond starts to form. It's built on Ellie's book of terrible puns, on quiet talks by a campfire, on Joel teaching her how to use a rifle. It's in this one incredible moment of pure awe when they stumble upon a herd of giraffes just walking through a ruined city. It's these little human moments that start to rebuild the part of Joel that died 20 years ago.
And this is the turning point. This is the moment where Joel stops seeing the mission and starts seeing the girl. He's no longer just protecting the cure, he's protecting her. So they finally reach his brother Tommy's settlement, and Joel tries to pass Ellie off thinking Tommy's the better choice to finish the trip. But Ellie confronts him, and she just lays it all bare, her whole life of loss, her fear of being abandoned yet again. And that raw vulnerability just shatters Joel's tough guy act. He realizes he can't leave her. He chooses to stay. And then, boom, the tables are turned.
Joel gets seriously wounded in a fight and is left clinging to life. For an entire winter, Ellie becomes his protector. She's hunting, keeping him safe, but her search for medicine leads her right into the trap of a guy named David, who seems nice at first, but turns out to be the leader of a group of cannibals.
Joel finally gets his strength back, just in time to find Ellie gone. He tracks her to this burning building and finds a deeply, deeply traumatized Ellie who has just killed David. He doesn't ask any questions. He just pulls her in, holds her, and calls her baby girl, the same thing he used to call Sarah. In that single moment, their bond is sealed. He's her father, she's his daughter, period.
After a whole year of fighting and loss, they've finally done it. They've made it to the Firefly Hospital, the end of the line. The cure for all mankind is just through those doors.
But the hope they fought so hard for, it turns into an absolute nightmare. The leader of the Fireflies, Marlene, lays out the devastating truth. See, Ellie's immunity isn't just in her blood. The fungus has actually mutated and grown with her brain. So to create a vaccine, they have to take it out. And there's no way to do that without killing her.
And here it is, the impossible choice, laid bare. On one side, you've got the Fireflies. They see a chance to save the entire world, and to them, one girl's life is a price worth paying. But on the other side, there's Joel, and all he sees is the world trying to take his daughter away from him, again. The fate of humanity comes down to this one man's decision.
Joel makes his choice. And he's not a hero saving the world. He's a father saving his child. He tears through that hospital like a force of nature, driven by pure grief and love. He kills the soldiers, he kills the surgeon, and finally he executes an unarmed Marlene to make sure no one can ever come for Ellie again. He chooses her life over billions. He escapes with an unconscious Ellie, leaving humanity's last hope for a cure dead on the floor. But the final, most powerful act of their story, it's not about violence. It's about a few quiet, devastating words. As they're walking back to his brother's town, Ellie stops him. She's carrying this incredible survivor's guilt, thinking about everyone who died to get her there. She needs it all to have meant something, so she looks him dead in the eye and asks for the truth. What happened back there?
Alone.
And Joel lies. He tells her the Fireflies had found
My best friend
dozens of
was there.
other immune people, that it didn't work,
And she
and that
got
they've
bit
stopped
too.
looking for a cure. He takes the weight of his choice, the damnation
He
of the
didn't know what to
human
do.
race, the truth of his violent rampage,
So-
and he buries it all just to protect her. He
She
builds their
says-
future on a foundation of incredible love
Let's
and
just
an
wait it
incredible
out.
lie. And that is the question The Last of Us leaves us all wrestling with. There's no easy answer. There's probably no right answer. It's a choice between saving the entire world and saving your entire world. So I'll ask you, what would you have done?
You know, we can be all poetic and just lose our minds together. I'm still waiting for my turn.
Ellie.
Her name was Riley, and she was the first to die. And then it was Tess. And then Sam.
None of that is on you.
You don't understand.
I struggled for a long time with surviving. And you... No matter what, you keep finding something to fight for. Now, I know that's not what you want to hear right now.
Swear
but
to
it's-
me. Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.